Hi, English 11A. Welcome to week 9. We've made it almost to the end, so hang in there. I want to tell you, so I don't forget at the end, that there are 2 extra credit assignments that I'm attaching. Hopefully you can see them this week. It'll be at the end. If you scroll to the bottom, look for those so you can turn those in by March 22nd and raise your score. If you have any questions, ask me about that. So this week, your personal persuasive essay, not personal, your persuasive essay is due today, Monday, and I won't accept it past Thursday. After that, you might as well just turn in your final draft because I won't have a really good time to read it and give you feedback for your final draft. So make sure you write your first draft of your essay and get it turned in to me by today. And if you're late, you'll lose points, but at least get it in by Thursday so that I can get back to you on that. The other assignment you're doing this week, well, when we meet in class on Wednesday, we'll go over the counterarguments and the conclusion for that essay. So you don't worry about that for your first draft. Just get the first 4 paragraphs in, and then we'll talk about those in class on Wednesday, and you can add those for your second draft. The other assignment that we're working on is the speech in the Virginia Convention made by Patrick Henry. So I want you to think about a couple of things for this. One thing is there's 2 blue links to click when you go to this assignment. One is the Word document that you're going to write on, but the other one says you don't need to turn this in, you just need to read it. It's about rhetoric. Rhetoric is devices used in arguing. It's really important that you print that and read it because a lot of the questions that you're going to answer in the Word doc come from that document. So I even recommend that you print it out and have it at your side when you answer the questions in the close read, and after reading questions, it'll really help you. I'll have copies printed in class if you need me to do that for you. I'll have them ready for you in the lab or in class on Wednesday. So why do we read this argument, this persuasive essay? Well, for one thing, it's a really great example of a persuasive essay. And I'm looking at my notes here so that it's actually more than a persuasive essay. It's a persuasive speech that Patrick Henry gave to the members of the Virginia Convention and also to Americans everywhere, because the speeches like this would be printed for others to read. And he was inspiring his fellow members of the convention and all Americans to know that now was the time to break free from Great Britain and become an independent country. So think of it in those terms. It wasn't just some boring political speech. It was inspiring at the time. It was intended to move people, to get them to lose their fear of breaking free from Great Britain, from England, and becoming an independent country. People were very afraid of this step. It was rather unheard of for what they hoped would be a bloodless revolution where they just declared themselves free and independent, and they set up their own government. It wasn't a bloody, taking over of power, but rather a determination that we can be our own free people. And so read it in those terms. Think about what he was doing to try to persuade. So that's my question for you to answer this week at the end of this essay is, how does he persuade his audience to take this scary step? And I'm going to tell you. So here's how. He uses logic, emotion, and a sense of right and wrong. Those you might already know. Logic is logos. Emotion is pathos. And the sense of right and wrong is ethos, ethics. So he uses those things to persuade. He's very logical. He gives steps and points and statistics even. And then he asks rhetorical questions he doesn't really expect people. He doesn't stop and wait for them to answer him. These are questions that he asks for them to just think about, and hopefully they understand what the right answer is, and they're going to be on his side, and he's persuading them to be on his side. So he asks a question like, I ask, gentlemen, sir, what means this martial, warlike array of, if its purpose not to force us to submission? So he's not really saying, why are they here if they're not here to force us to their will? He doesn't really expect an answer. He knows they all agree. They're only here to force us to their will. He says, shall we try argument? Shall we resort to entreaty? Also rhetorical questions and repetition. He uses repetition as well in his speech because as he repeats ideas and words and sentence structures, he makes his point more clearly. So you'll see that as you read the essay. And so I hope that you read it in terms of thinking, what if we had a revolution today? What kind of speech would someone give to break free? There is even talk of California becoming a separate country, breaking free and becoming its own independent country. What kind of speech would someone have to give to make people like you and me agree that it would be a good idea for California to break free and be independent? Okay, I have given you my question. I've told you the answer, so you're going to write that in the response and get those 15 points, which is a pretty easy way to earn points in this class. And I look forward to seeing you in class on Wednesday or in the lab if you need help, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 12. There's not a lot to do this week, so please get caught up on week 7 to 9 and look for those extra credit assignments at the end. Okay, bye-bye.